Okay, it is 5 o'clock p.m. on Monday, March 3rd, 2025. I'll call this special town board meeting of the town of LaPointe to order. Take a roll call. Mike Anderson.
Here.
Amy Baxter. Susan Brenna.
Here.
Samantha Dobson.
Here.
And Glenn Carlson here. We also have our town clerk and our town administrator here, as well as members of the public. So is there any public comment? John?
Yes, I'm requesting that this meeting be postponed. This information for the tariffs, which is available to the public at some time today. So if somebody had questions to bring to the town board, they had no time to even look at this. This has been going on for a while, and this was not available until today. This is a public utility.
Thank you, John. Any other public comment, Paul?
Let's second his sentiments, at least to a point. I don't know about necessarily postponing it, but god dang it. I was up here this morning at 10:30 handing in our Sexton report. This wasn't available. So to get this with not even 8 hours before the meetings, the public can look it over. It's baloney. You should do it at least a few days ahead of time. Even last Thursday, Friday, over the weekend is better than doing it after 10:30 the day you're gonna have a meeting.
Thank you, Paul.
It's kind of Trumpian, if you ask me, for what it's worth.
Thank you, Paul. Any other public comment?
There is a public tour of the school this evening and talk about the referendum.
That's
It's
tomorrow.
tomorrow. I mean,
That's tomorrow. Well, thank you for the public comment, and apologies. This was supposed to have gotten out, last Friday. But I'll leave it to the rest of the town board. I've obviously been intimately involved in developing this, and there has been an awful lot of time and effort that has been put into it, and it has been discussed extensively at public meetings, and the tariff has been available each time that we've revised it. We have, now this most recent revision was very, minor things that were changed, but if the town board does not feel like they've had time to review it, I think that, we should definitely consider postponing it a few days.
Well, is there a time frame when the railroad commissioner or whoever this goes to, is there a deadline that they have to have it?
No, the only deadline is that we cannot implement the tariffs until 30 days after submitting it to the Railroad Commission.
So as far as getting Ferryline getting their schedules out, they wanted these new rates to be on the schedules, I would imagine. And would that interfere with that?
Well, I think that, the Harbor Commission did approve recommending the rates to the town board. And I think probably the Harbor Commission's recommendation is going to carry some weight with MIFL. They probably aren't going to be printed and distributed until, later on. Robin?
We could put the schedule on the web. You know what I mean? And just say the rates are coming. The question about the rates is coming from like the event managers, like what's your name, Alyssa, with the marathon and the motor coach and things like that. So they, sooner rather than later, it's good. I mean, if it was delayed a couple of days or whatever,
Okay.
Well, I would want to try to get it done as soon as possible. I mean, I agree that if we didn't get this information out to the public until this afternoon,
Yep.
they didn't have time to look at it, that's one thing. But how long do we want to delay it?
Well, let's look at
If it
the calendar.
interferes with getting the schedules out.
Yeah, let's check. Today's Monday. I'm fine with either doing it Wednesday or Thursday.
we can't,
Okay.
and it has to be posted for longer than that, right?
No, just 24 hours.
it's
Oh, that's in 2 days. I thought it was Tuesday. I keep thinking it's Tuesday.
So how about Thursday? 5 o'clock?
Sure.
Yes,
at work.
it's gonna, yeah.
And, okay.
Do we need a motion to change the dates? I mean,
Well, let's maybe take a vote to table this until our meeting, our special town board meeting on Thursday, March 6th. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to table this until a meeting Thursday, March 6th at 5.
I'll second it with discussion.
Go ahead.
We don't have to pass it tonight. Can we talk about it tonight?
Definitely, you can talk
Do
about
something, get something done.
Yeah.
We're all here.
it. Sure. So we have a motion and a second, and, or is there a second
yeah, I second.
To approve it on,
to
Right.
table it? But let's go ahead before we vote on that to answer any questions.
well, my first question would have been, when's the deadline? It has to be in, but there is no deadline. Apparently just within the next couple of days.
It has to be at the railroad commission for 30 days and available for public comment. I mean, they have to be able to give comments. So
Okay.
we wouldn't publish the rap card. Wouldn't go to press, we could get ready to go to press, but wouldn't go to press until that 30 days was.
Okay.
And my second question was how do you compare like the 24 prices to this new 25 price list? How, we have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah, I'll, yeah, well,
Well, you don't have to kill a tree to do it, but I mean, you didn't up everything, did you?
no, let me go through some of the significant ones. And you know, I'm gonna go in terms of how much impact they have on revenue. So the number one impact on revenue is our adult round trip full fare. Okay, no mag card, just regular walking.
For an adult?
Yep. And that's gonna go from $9 each way to $10.50 each way, an increase of 16 2/3%.
So from 9 to 10.50.
Yeah, from 9 to 10.50.
Okay.
Car round trip, under 19 feet, full fare, gonna go from 31 to 38. That's a 22.5% increase. That's pretty much our biggest increase.
Wait, say that again.
22.58. Oh, what, 31 to 38.
31
So $7 increase.
to 38.
The adult round trip mag, we, as you know, for mag cards, they have been higher in the summer, lower in the winter, and we got a lot of feedback that people wanted one rate year round, every day of the week. And so that's what we're gonna do. And the weighted rate, if you look at the fact that, you know, the summer rate is in effect for however many months, and then the winter rate, it comes out that the weighted average round trip, or the weighted average one way for an adult on a mag card was $7.32. And it's gonna go up to $8 year round. And that's a 9.36% increase. Mag card cars had kind of the same issue. It had been 26.36 weighted average in 2024 for one way, and that's going up to 29, which is a 10.02% increase.
Is that with this winter operation surcharge?
No, the winter operation.
So that's not really what it'll cost.
Well, you know, the thing about the tariff is that the Harbor Commission and the town board can lower the tariff anytime. We can decide not to impose a winter transportation charge if, say, by, you know, September, we feel like things are going really well, revenue is good. We don't need to have that winter surcharge in effect. So to answer that question, but that winter surcharge was on top of, I mean, it basically the winter
It was
surcharge.
on top of the 26.36.
Yeah, so it basically brought it up to what the summer charge, the winter surcharge effectively brought it up to pretty close to what the summer charge was.
Okay.
So,
You can lower the rate, you just can't raise it.
Correct.
Correct.
So if I'm reading this right, it's aimed, the increases are aimed more at the daily, not the frequent flyers, not the workers and not the people who live here. Who work, if like the May card is gonna be a lot less percent, right?
Yeah, I mean, basically, the MAG cards are going up 9 to 13%. The non-MAG card, sort of car and passenger, 16 to 23%. So there is a significant difference. Some things that aren't going up, let me tell you, there are some things that we're increasing 0%.
Before you move on, can I
Okay.
ask a
Sure.
question? Because when you talked about the summer, winter rates,
Mhm.
it brought to my mind the amounts that you have to put on your MAG card. Is that going to be just one, or is that going to change like it does from summer to fall?
Oh, that's a really good question, and it's one that came up today, actually. Currently, the way the tariff it reads, and you know, we can change this if you'd like, but we have the same pricing, the winter and the summer MAG card recharge pricing that we've had in there, the
Yeah.
140 and 250 or 550.
It's been on for like 10 years.
Yeah,
Right.
it's been.
So the plan is to keep that. However, you know, we could, again, decide to reduce that amount. We just can't increase it
Okay.
at any time.
You-
And so,
Once it goes in, if the railroad commissioner approves the tariff rates, then it can always be lowered, but it can't be raised, right?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
got
It's send in a new tariff in a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah, which with increases, it just would take 30 days again to get it to be able to be charged. So in the interest of trying to not have a charge that is going to be felt broadly by everyone, we did not increase the cost of transporting. Now, we did change the cost of a truck of propane, but we didn't increase the cost of the actual propane in the truck. It's still, I think, 6 cents a gallon. And not just propane, but also gasoline, and I don't know if anyone uses fuel oil, but I think that's in there as well. Food items coming across pretty much held all those to the same rates that we had in 2024. There are significant increases for campers, trucks and trailers. You know, some of those are going up, you know, 20, 30%. Again, when you get down to some of these things, and then there's a sort of a general increase. We tried to round all of the fares to the nearest quarter one way so that, you know, for making change. So the general increase, unless it was one of these specific things that we've talked about just now. I mean, there are 108, I think, different categories, as you can see. Generally, we went with a 17% increase for things that weren't handled specifics. So there are probably, if I were to look at the percent increases, you know, there are probably a large number that are right around the 17% level.
And you said that's for things that, what,
Well, like,
Right?
no, freight pretty much we're keeping pretty close. But things that we didn't specifically change, and I think it's well, actually, that's the adult round trip full fare went up about that 17%. That's probably one of the biggest ones. I mean, that the amount of money that we generate, that the Ferry Line generates from, adult round trip full fares is, almost $2 million a year. And so, you know, if you're gonna increase, and we are increasing overall, the rates from last year. If traffic holds the same, we should see not quite a 20% increase in revenue next year, probably an additional $900,000 in revenue. And largely that is going for maintenance of the boats. Cal has a list of several hundred thousand that the Harbor Commission has been working on. So this will enable the Harbor Commission. I guess the key is if this comes to pass and the rates go through and if the traffic is flat with what it was last year, there will be sufficient funds to pay all the debt service and do the capital projects that Cal has in mind, including the big dock project that we got harbor assistance money on. All of that can be done without putting any money on the tax levy next year.
So obviously, debt service, in my opinion, comes first.
Mhm.
So you pay off the debt service and then it would go to operational costs, whatever it costs to keep the boats operating properly. And then capital improvements come third. Is that kind of how it
Well,
goes?
I mean, I would say, yeah, I mean, there's no question that debt service comes first. And we really have no choice in that. It has to come first. The electors already approved it coming first.
Keep it off the tax roll.
Yeah, well, they agreed to put it on the tax roll if we didn't have the money, so it's got to be, you know,
We don't
first
wanna do
priority.
it.
And yeah, second priority is we've got to keep the boats running, but part of keeping the boats running is to do these, you know, scheduled maintenance, that, you know, what we don't want is to have the boats break down on July 3rd.
Right.
You know, and so we need to do preventative and scheduled, and Cal has been doing a terrific job of keeping the boats running. And I think we have cut down. I mean, we did pare down his list quite a bit and took out things that we didn't think would create a problem at some.
When you say we, you're saying the Harbor Commission?
The Harbor Commission,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I think it's roughly about 420,000 in additional projects that he proposed that weren't in the budget that we adopted for 2025 for operations. This would provide, in addition to what was in the budget that we all approved, this would increase the revenues by about 420,000 over what was in the budget. And 420,000 is roughly the amount of Cal's capital requests.
And that's based on the amount of traffic from 24?
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, public comment B?
I need an all in favor vote for thing.
Oh, all in favor of deferral? Aye.
Just let me look through my questions quick. Yeah, yes.
Okay, we're deferring public comment B. John?
Thanks. For any guest on the next meeting. And secondly, hopefully with the Harbor Commission and the town boards and boards, we won't be giving away free trips for special events or anything like that, because we have a debt to pay. And you can't give away free stuff until you paid off your debt. As far as a businessman like me, it's not giving away anything if I own $17.2 million. I'm not giving away anything. I'm collecting everything. So I'm hopefully the Harbor Commission understands that when you're on the Harbor Commission. So
Well, I will respond, John. And the Harbor Commission decided early last year, shortly after acquiring the ferry line, that last year, 2024, was the last year of any of the freebies. And so everyone's been told, no more freebies. If the chamber, wants to subsidize the trip over, that's great. We will continue to pay or not charge if there's an ambulance that needs to be on, site from Ashland. We won't charge them, but all the organizers, well, yeah, we will. We still are going to have free ferry day, which was very popular here for mostly, residents. But yeah, no, it's and I think Robin and crew have done a good job of letting people know no more freebies. And in fact, sadly, we really can't even do freebies for people who have, hospital visits and, are going over for, regular treatment or whatnot. But we have been working behind the scenes with St. John's. And it looks like they are prepared to pick up that responsibility.
That's my question.
I guess I'm more worried about the events.
Yeah, no, those have all been,
Main,
yeah, Schwamigan Chef's been told,
right?
the 2 marathons have been told. Lois?
I just want to say that just in response to that, all of those events are canceled. So there's not going to be a Schwamigan Chefs. And,
Marathon?
As far as I know, the Schwamigan Chefs is.
Okay, well, but the marathons,
The marathon is probably going to go through there to figure that out, this is that will affect community in a big way, not have some either a break in price or some kind of a, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be done, I'm just saying that it's definitely going to be, affect things. And the other concern I wanted to ask about was, if we have, changes in the economy within the next couple of months, like fuel prices going up where that we would normally have a fuel raise, then would we then again raise prices that much more?
well, I think we'd have to look at it. I think that, again, we want to make this as much of a user paid for enterprise as possible and not have something going on the tax rolls.
I also want to say, for us at the museum, any increase affects us there. And I wish there was some way to do, ticket solution or something like that. But we have a number, not only the museum, which, we have people that walk in with sticker shock coming to the island, and then there's admission fee, which is more sticker shock. So the fact that we just don't have, we've got businesses that are closed on Main Street, a number of them, that right now we're, raising prices. We are, what are we doing to help the businesses create opportunity? If we can't do events or get them offsite for bringing people across from Maine, the boutique or the Schwamigan Chefs. We've got a few other things.
This one event.
Yeah.
Paul?
Most wrong with this. I just wanted to verify it. The chef's competition is going to happen, so it's both marathons, swim, the participants, the organizers, they're going to have to pay just like anyone else. The only thing that you're going to let is a gratis and say if they need an extra ambulance or 2 over here for said events.
Right.
That's the only gratis. Okay.
And there's also a question up
Okay,
on the screen.
hold on. Robin?
I was just gonna say, also the police, if we brought over extra.
Oh, police, yes, if they,
Sheriff, deputy, or.
Yeah.
Right, whatever they typically
Right.
need.
public safety.
Right.
There's a question about $50 that students, and this is on Zoom. $50 that students are going to receive at the end of the school year for showing their IDs when they get on the ferry. And that is correct.
It says what line item does that come out of?
It is just not included as part of revenue. And it amounts to probably $600 for the year at the most, assuming that all the kids are perfect in showing their IDs every single time they get on the ferry. They get dinged $5 each time they don't have their ID.
So that's like an incentive program?
Yeah.
These kids are how old?
Middle school to high school,
Huh?
middle school to high school.
Middle school, high school, so we're talking 13 to 18.
Mhm.
They need incentive? Boy.
It's not our day, girls, you get 5 behind.
Okay, any other public comment? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Seconded, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
We're gonna do this on Thursday.
Thursday, yeah, sorry,
Thursday at 5, right?
Thursday at 5.
Well, we got a lot of stuff over the way.
Yeah, and I'm gonna.
My question.